If disinformation using complex AI software to reprogram us via social media algorithms is actually swinging free elections in favor of the oligarchy, then how can true democracy exist? Is it over? Elon Musk poured over $20 million into a mysterious super PAC at the end of the 2024 campaign, part of more than $250 million that he spent overall to boost Donald Trump's election chances. This is according to new campaign finance reports. Musk financed RBG PAC, according to the report that the group filed last night with the Federal Election Commission. The super PAC, which did not disclose its donors before the election, launched ads contending that Trump did not support a federal abortion ban. Of course he does, and as much as he claims to think that it's a state's issue, that narrative will undoubtedly change. All of the money the group pulled in, which is $20.5 million, came from a solitary donation from the Elon Musk Revocable Trust in Austin, Texas. RBG PAC spent almost all of its money on digital ads, mailers, and text messages, according to the campaign finance report, which covered the period from October 17 through November 25th. The late ad blitz from RBG PAC is only a small fraction of Elon Musk's total election spending this year. He also financed America PAC, a super PAC that reportedly spent $157 million supporting Donald Trump in the presidential race. America PAC's latest campaign finance report showed that Musk donated $238 million to the group throughout the election cycle, including in-kind contributions, and $120 million of that came in the final weeks of the race alone. Musk also wrote a check for more than $920,000 to one of Trump's joint fundraising committees just a few weeks before Election Day. This is buying an election. The richest man on earth writing checks to guarantee an outcome in formally a free and fair election. Federal disclosures show America PAC spent heavily on canvassing, text message-based get-out-the-vote efforts, printing and postage, as well as digital advertising. It also ran a controversial cash giveaway that gave out $1 million each day to someone who signed the group's conservative-leaning petition. Trump has since elected Elon Musk to advise him on cutting spending across the federal government as co-chair of his Department of Government Efficiency initiative. The irony that Musk will be looking to cut spending when he has done nothing but spend to get Trump elected is not lost on me. Donald Trump's campaign pledged to be a champion for working-class Americans. His incoming administration, however, is stuffed with Wall Street figures and billionaires, including the world's wealthiest person. Trump himself is set to become even richer, with a potential estimated net worth of almost $6 billion, according to Forbes. Musk, whose net worth is more than $300 billion, joins these characters now in Trump's nominated cabinet and wealthy officials joining the White House. Together, their net worth exceeds $340 billion, larger than the gross domestic product of more than 11 dozen countries. The president-elect has tapped at least 5 billionaires for his administration so far. Aside from Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, a biotech entrepreneur, former wrestling magnate Linda McMahon, investment banker Howard Lutnick, and venture capitalist and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. Trump's special interest billionaire cabinet is the wealthiest in history, and they're ready to do whatever Donald Trump wants to give themselves another tax break at the expense of the American people. Working families deserve leaders who are looking out for them, have some empathy for them, have maybe lived a life like them previously, but Trump and his cabinet picks are more focused on Wall Street, not Main Street. And it seems that despite all the disinformation, the targeted election interference from foreign entities like Russia, as well as the huge disinformation campaign from within the US, from Project 2025 and its advocates, has helped win the election for a tyrant. Even though we know the election was influenced and that people were lied to, it seems there's nothing we can do about it. Not so much the case in Romania today. A Romanian constitutional court has annulled the first round of the country's presidential election following revelations of Russian interference. The decision today comes just days after declassified intelligence accused Moscow of orchestrating an extensive online campaign to promote the far-right candidate who unexpectedly won the first round. The court ruling, which is final, invalidates the election and mandates a complete rerun. This unprecedented move follows the president's decision there to release intelligence reports indicating that Russia deployed thousands of social media accounts to bolster the candidacy of this fringe and far-right candidate on platforms like TikTok and Telegram. This character is a little-known pro-Russian politician with no declared campaign spending. He emerged as the frontrunner on November 24th. His surprising lead over pro-European candidates of the Save Romania Union Party has shocked the European Union and NATO member Romania. A runoff election had been scheduled for this Sunday, but with voting already underway in polling stations abroad, the court's decision has halted the process completely. Can you imagine that happening here in America? The discovery, as we saw, the security services recognizing that there was foreign influence in the election to such an extent that the election is halted and rerun now that people know that they have been manipulated. Different rules for different nations, it seems. The outgoing Prime Minister praised the court's decision, calling it the only correct solution in light of the newly declassified intelligence which showed Russia's actions had blatantly distorted the election outcome. Prior to the election, this fringe candidate was polling in the single digits, making his first-round victory a stunning development. His win raised questions about the resilience of democratic systems in a country deeply embedded in Western alliances. In response to the controversy, thousands of demonstrators gathered in Bucharest on Thursday night, rallying in freezing temperatures to defund democracy. High-profile Romanian artists and activists joined the protests, urging citizens to resist isolationist policies and safeguard the country's pro-European trajectory. Chants of Europe and no fascism echoed through the streets as protesters carried banners reading, "Democracy is in danger, and our children will be free." Sound familiar? While largely ceremonial, Romania's presidency wields significant moral authority, shapes foreign policy, nominates the next prime minister, a critical role given the country's fragmented parliament following last week's legislative elections. The annulment of the presidential vote highlights a turning point in Romania's post-communist political landscape. Mounting economic frustrations and concerns over the Ukraine war have fueled the rise of far-right sentiment, marking an unprecedented moment in the nation's modern history. America is about to transition into a completely new administration, a regime, arguably, filled with some of the most selfish and dangerous individuals whose interests will only be for themselves and for their wallets rather than for the people and their rights. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5-Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesday co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the Midas Touch newsletter at MidasTouch.com/newsletter.